Our next topic is, should Chinese products be banned in India? Boycott Chinese goods. A rising clamor in India is a situation raised after the recent border clash, which left 20 Indian soldiers martyred. This wave of boycott is seeming to be a powerful move at first, considering the patriotic sentiment of the Indian economy. The aftermath of this movement further intensified after the government of India banned 118 Chinese apps. But given the overwhelming reliance on China for cheap imports, not just by India, but by the whole world, the question arises, should Chinese products be banned in India?
Our third topic for the day is social media is a cause of increasing depression among the youth. Sometimes scrolling through Instagram just makes you feel bad. You try not to envy your friends, but they always seem to be traveling somewhere cool or eating something fancy. On the other hand, there are times when you laugh at funny videos, catch up with old friends, and feel happy to belong to fun social media communities. But every hour, one person in the age group of 15 to 29 years commits suicide in India, with about 28 such suicides reported every day, according to the data compiled by the National Crime Records Bureau. So another question arises. Is social media a cause of increasing depression among the youth? Now that we know the topics, I would like to invite Dr. Supriya Patil, Head of Department of Commerce, to give a welcome address to everyone gathered here. Ma'am.
Namaskar. Am I audible, Salim?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So, the judges for today's competition, Dr. Anupa Kumbhar and Dr. Shilpi Sharma. My colleagues at the department, Dr. Shamla, Dr. Amrita, Dr. Harshada. Participants who have, student participants who have joined from the various departments, and all my student friends. It's such a wonderful morning today, very a little cool, crisp, and a wonderful day. And how I wish instead of being online, we were together in some place. But like rightly mentioned by Salil, COVID has pushed us into a situation where technology has become very, very important. And hence, we are gathered here today for the online debate competition, which has been aptly titled as A Battle of Words 2020. Now, it's the topics selected by the our students for discussion were just explained to you. But let me give you a little historical perspective on this entire concept of debate. I'm sure for those of you who are ardent students of history, perhaps have heard about the Athenian scholars who were probably one of the first ones to discuss topics. And then what is debate? Debate is just healthy discussion. You take a concept, you take a point, and you put your views or your thoughts across to the group of people. That is what a debate is. And Athenian scholars, when the so-called first democracy or democratic concept initiated, were the first ones to exercise this. They discussed on various topics which were of their interest and came up with ideas, philosophies which were there to guide the future of people. What about India? Did such a concept Indian exist in our Indian culture? Definitely. And in Indian culture, the scholars who discussed and what we call as debate today, at that point it was called Shastrartha. What is Shastra Artha? Artha means meaning. Shastra was our scriptures. And therefore, scholars got together to discuss their interpretation, their meaning of whatever the scriptures said or scriptures had written. So, from there, this concept of debate has existed. And mind you, there was something called Nyaya Sutra. And in ancient times, this debate actually took place in three different forms. The first form was called Vad Katha. Vad Katha very simply means you have a very, very healthy discussion. No, both parties or multiple parties come together, they take a concept and they discuss. Whereas Jalpa Katha and Vitinda Katha had a slight evil or unpleasant notation to it, where one party kind of dominated and insisted to prove their point over others. Now, from ancient India to today's day, today's world, and democracy being the largest principle across nations, debate is one of the most important forms of discussion. And for those who are ardent followers of politics, especially what took place in the United States, you all must have witnessed the great debates that took place between the President Trump and the incoming President Joe Biden. And if you have followed, those were really, really interesting expression of opinions of what they would be doing for their nation. So today we have some interesting topics that have come forth, and so technology, society, and China, things that we love to discuss, whether it's television, a katta, and unfortunately now there's no katta to discuss. So here we are using an online forum and taking on the debate. So with this, I welcome you all to this session of debate. Please, let's make it a Vadakatha. Let's make it friendly, because this is where we are going to learn a lot of things and understand what other people feel. And I welcome all of you once again to this debate competition. Thank you very much for listening to me patiently. Over to you, Salil.
Thanks for sharing your thoughts, ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, before calling the participants on stage, let me introduce the panel of jury. We have with us Dr. Anupa Kumbhar and Dr. Shilpi Sharma. They will judge today's contest and determine the winners. Dr. Kumbhar is an associate professor at the Department of Chemistry, Savitribai Phule Pune University. She obtained her PhD from the University of Pune in 2002. She then worked as a research associate at CSIR and was awarded a fast track project for young scientists by DST. She then joined the chemistry department in 2007. She carried out her postdoctoral research at Duke University, USA, under Boyce Coast Fellowship conferred by DST, Government of India. She was part of the Indian delegation as a scientific observer for the 48th International Chemistry Olympiad held at Nakhon Pathum, Thailand in 2016. She has authorized 40 publications in peer-reviewed international journals of well-repute and has mentored 4 PhD students. We are also delighted to have Dr. Sharma. She is an assistant professor at the Department of Biotechnology, Savitribai Phule Pune University. She has done her bachelor's in microbiology from the Institute of Home Economics and has completed her master's degree from Dr. B.R. Ambedkar Center for Biomedical Research, Delhi University. She has done her doctorate in molecular immunogenetics from the Institute of Genomics and Integrative Biology. She is also a visiting faculty in Tata Institute of Fundamental Research. She has done her postdoctoral fellowship from the University of Chicago and University of Michigan Medical School. She is highly skilled in molecular biology. Welcome both of you.
So before starting, let me just confirm something. Who is live CID? Because if you log in with your correct name, we will be able to identify you properly. So please log in with your names. Now, just let me read the rules of the competition, and the participants are requested to follow these rules really strictly. So each participant will have 3 minutes to express their views, and 2 minutes will be given to wind up the debate. After 3 minutes have passed, you will be notified by a bell. Another bell will ring after 2 minutes. Your time will begin when you start speaking. Participants will have to switch on their videos while they speak. Due to some technical difficulties, there will be no rebuttal period. Prizes will be given to the first, second, and the third best speaker. Statements which are controversial and include racial, gender, and cultural stereotypes are considered unsuitable for the competition. The decision of the judges will be deemed final. Now I reckon every participant is eager to share his or her ideas. So without further ado, I would like to call upon a very first participant, Nikhil Shankar Habu from the Department of Chemistry. He is going to speak for the topic dependency on technology, need or necessity of technology for students. His preferred language is English. Please continue, Nikhil. I think Nikhil has not joined. So we will just skip to the second participant then.
I would like to call upon Bansude Sheetal Maloji from the Department of Hindi. She is going to speak for the topic social media is a cause of increasing depression among the youth. Her preferred language is Marathi. Please continue, Sheetal.
Seeing as neither of the two participants have shown up, we will go with the third participant that is actually here. I would like to call upon Biradar Suraj Bapurao from the Department of Hindi. He is going to speak against the topic, should Chinese products be banned in India? His preferred language is Hindi. Please continue.
नमस्कार नमस्कार मेरा नाम सूरज बापराव बिरादार है। मैं एमए हिंदी डिपार्टमेंट से हूँ और मेरा विषय है कि क्या चीनी उत्पाद जो है भारत में प्रतिबंधित किए जाने चाहिए, यानी कि बैन किए जाने चाहिए। तो मेरा इस पर सुझाव है कि हमें सबसे पहले ये देखना चाहिए कि हम चाइना से क्या माल आयात करते हैं, यानी कि क्या हम माल लेते हैं। तो सबसे पहले हम हार्डवेयर की बात करेंगे, जैसे कि हम टेक्नोलॉजी में हम सबसे पहले हम मोबाइल से या फिर टेक्नोलॉजी में जैसे कि लैपटॉप्स, जिस प्रकार से हम वहां से पार्ट इंपोर्ट करते हैं, तो उसमें हम सबसे पहले प्रोसेसर या फिर डिस्प्ले ऐसे कुछ पार्ट्स जो है हम चाइना से हम लेते हैं, जो कि इंडिया में हम बना नहीं सकते। अगर हम चाइनीज प्रोडक्ट्स को अगर बैन कर दे तो हम देखेंगे कि कोई भी प्रकार की, जैसे कि लैपटॉप हो गया, फिर आप एक छोटी सी चीज लीजिए, फैन तक जो है हम चाइना से मंगवा कर यहाँ पर असेंबल करते हैं। यहाँ पर हम जो भी इंडियन कंपनी है, जैसे कि माइक्रोमैक्स है, लावा है, जो कि चाइना से माल लाती है और यहाँ पर सिर्फ असेंबल करती है, उस पर थप्पा लगा देती है मेड इन इंडिया का। तो हमें ये सोचना चाहिए कि हम चाइना को किस प्रकार से बैन कर सकते हैं, फिर किस लेवल पर बैन कर सकते हैं। हम उन्हें सिर्फ सॉफ्टवेयर पर बैन कर सकते हैं। और पिछले कुछ दिनों में हम देखेंगे कि जब बॉर्डर पर जो हमले हुए, उसके बाद जो अचानक जो एप्लीकेशन बैन हुए, तो हमने उसे एक दूसरे से लिंक किया, जबकि ये एक दूसरे से लिंक नहीं है। हमने चाइनीज एप्लीकेशन इसलिए बैन की क्योंकि हमने वहां पर इसका एक कारण देखा कि सिक्योरिटी हमारे लिए सबसे महत्वपूर्ण है। और चाइना जो कि हमारा पड़ोसी देश है और इससे पहले भी हम पर हमले हो चुके हैं, तो हमने सिर्फ सिक्योरिटी के कारण उन एप्लीकेशन को बैन किए थे, ना कि हमने उन्हें बैन किया था कि क्योंकि बॉर्डर पर हमले हुए। और हम आज भी चाइना से जो है प्रोडक्ट्स लेते हैं, जबकि हमारे इंडियन ब्रांड जैसे कि माइक्रोमैक्स कुछ फिलहाल ही में वापस आया है और उन्होंने कहा है कि हमने मेड इन इंडिया फोन बनाया, लेकिन उन्होंने चाइनीज कंपनी हॉनर से ही जो है प्रोडक्ट्स लेकर यहाँ पर जो है असेंबल किए। और जैसे देखते हैं कि हम हमारे टॉप ब्रांड जो है, जैसे कि Xiaomi हो गया, रियलमी हो गया, या फिर सैमसंग हो गई, इनके भी प्रोडक्शन जो है चाइना से आती है, यानी कि मेन पार्ट चाइना से और असेंबल इंडिया में होता है। जैसे कि चाइनीज ब्रांड रियलमी, Xiaomi, इनके सारे जो है प्रोडक्ट्स असेंबल यहाँ पर होते हैं। यहाँ पर उनकी फैक्ट्रियां हैं और यहाँ पर सिर्फ असेंबल होता है। हमें ये जानकारी लेनी चाहिए कि असेंबल क्या होता है और प्रोडक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग क्या होती है। तो प्रोडक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरिंग होती है चाइना से। जैसे कि यूएस का सब एक बड़ा ब्रांड है एप्पल, हम देखते हैं यूएस भी एप्पल जो है चाइना से बनाकर पूरे दुनिया में सप्लाई करता है, क्योंकि जो सस्ते और किफायती दर में जो प्रोडक्ट्स चाइना में बनते हैं वो दुनिया में कहीं भी नहीं बन सकते। लेकिन खुशखबरी ये है कि एप्पल ने भी कुछ ही दिनों पहले एप्पल की जो फैक्ट्री चाइना में थी, वो एक फैक्ट्री इंडिया में लगा दी है और दूसरी फैक्ट्री जो है ताइवान में लगाती है। तो आने वाले कुछ समय बाद आपको मेड इन इंडिया एप्पल भी देखने को मिल जाएंगे। तो हम ये कर सकते हैं, लेकिन हमें एंटी चाइना या फिर ये स्लोगन नहीं देना चाहिए कि ट्विटर पर जाकर कि चाइना को बैन कर दो या फिर ऐसे कर दो। ये हो जाएगा, लेकिन हमें फिलहाल अभी सॉफ्टवेयर बैन करना है, क्योंकि हम सॉफ्टवेयर बना सकते हैं। इंडिया के पास वो पोटेंशियल है कि हम सॉफ्टवेयर बना सकते हैं, लेकिन अभी हम रेडी नहीं है, तैयार नहीं है कि हम हार्डवेयर बनाए, हम प्रोसेसर बनाए। आपको बता दूं कि हमारे आईआईटी ने एक प्रोसेसर बनाया, हमारे आईआईटी के स्टूडेंट ने, जिसका नाम है शक्ति। शक्ति नाम का एक प्रोसेसर हमने बना लिया है, लेकिन वो इतना कमजोर है कि हम उसे किसी भी लैपटॉप या कंप्यूटर या फिर किसी भी मोबाइल में हम डाल नहीं सकते, क्योंकि काफी कमजोर है वो। उसके जो नैनोमीटर है वो भी कम है। आज हम 7 नैनो और 5 नैनोमीटर पर प्रोसेसर बना रहे हैं। मोबाइल की बात कर रहा हूँ। तो इतने ज्यादा टेक्नोलॉजी आगे बढ़ चुकी है, तो अभी हम प्रोसेसर इंडिया में मैन्युफैक्चर नहीं कर रहे। लेकिन आपको कुछ अच्छी बातें भी बताता हूँ कि दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी मोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैक्ट्री जो है इंडिया में है, ना कि चाइना में या फिर कोई दुनिया के किसी भी दूसरे कोने में, जो कि सैमसंग ने बनाई है, जो कि इंडिया में ही है, और जो शायद गुरुग्राम में है शायद। तो दुनिया की सबसे बड़ी मोबाइल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग फैक्ट्री इंडिया में है। तो हम इसके तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं, लेकिन हमें अभी फिलहाल चाइना को बैन हमें नहीं करना है। कुछ समय बाद जब हम इंडिया में असेंबल करना शुरू करने गए, मैं यहाँ पर प्रोसेसर की बात कर रहा हूँ, प्रोसेसर, डिस्प्ले, जो हम अगर यहाँ पर बनाने शुरू कर दे तो हम चाइना को बैन कर सकते हैं। जैसे मैं आपको कुछ उदाहरण दूंगा कि जैसे बजाज, आपको पता है इंडियन कंपनी, लेकिन आप बजाज के कोई भी फैन या फिर कोई भी इलेक्ट्रिक प्रोडक्ट पे पीछे जाकर देखिए, वहां पर लिखा होता है ओरिजिन, कंट्री ओरिजिन चाइना। क्योंकि बजाज जैसे बड़े कंपनियां भी इंडिया में जो है मैन्युफैक्चर ना करके चाइना से प्रोडक्ट लाके और अपना लोगो चिपका कर इंडिया में बेचते। बहुत सी इंडियन कंपनियां, आप उसके पीछे जाकर देखिए कि कंपनी कहाँ पर है उसकी, तो चाइना से ही माल आता है।
टाइम इज अप।
तो 5 मिनट हो गए सर।
Yes. I don't know if you
Thank
can
you.
hold the bell properly. It's quite faint, but yeah, 5 minutes have passed. So thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Suraj. Now I would like to call upon Dolly Mahendra Kumawat from the Department of Commerce Distance Learning. She is going to speak for the topic dependency on technology, need or necessity of technology for students. Her preferred language is English. Please continue.
Good morning. My name is Kumawat Dolly. I choose to speak on dependency on technology, necessity for students. Think of the number of technology devices we use in our day-to-day life. Technology is such a powerful thing that saves our time, but it also depends on how we use them. Students use technology for presentation, learning, email, scanning, etc., which makes them more presentable and expressive. Teachers use technology like projectors, videos, presentation to make learning more interesting and easier for children. Another example can be Twitter, where students are not only sharing their opinions, ideas, but also receiving ideas from another students. From waking up in the morning with help of alarm to filling form of prestigious college of university, technology has a major contribution. In this era where money and luxury is more important, parents are too busy in their work profile. Technology helps the children to be connected in touch with their parents. Technology helps the working students to give time to their area of interest, like watching movies, reading books, using dictionaries. It helps the students who are working and busy with their education to give time and generate more interest in their area of interest. I feel that technology is helpful for students in many ways. At last, in this pandemic corona situation, it is helping us in various ways like attending competitions, using mails for delivering the ideas and data, for sharing information, for conducting online classes and not letting our year go wasted. So I feel today it is possible for us to communicate just because of the technology. Technology also help us to travel from here to there. Students are very much interested and involved in such technologies because it gives us opportunities and confidence to build up. We can also use technologies for the help of applying for the job profiles by making resume by ourselves and giving resumes and mailing to the owners. It gives us opportunities like going on Naukri.com, Monster.com. These are the facilities provided to us in order to share our profiles. So I feel that technology is useful as well, and it gives many bad things, side effects also. Just like you must be questioning me, like there are so many accident cases that are being taking place on roads, but we also need to take care that if the traffic rules are being followed, then the accident cases will be less. On the other hand, you must be thinking that in such a situation, there are so many backward people and people in rural area who don't have very much information about such things. But we are developing country, so we need to go ahead instead of going backward. So at least they are trying to go ahead and trying to learn. It is all because of technology that they are able to give their time, and because of this corona situation, at least few people are developing. I can see my maid asking me for help for online lectures, so I feel that it is the first time that she have done something to develop. So at last, I would say technology is bad and good as well. It all depends on how we take it. Like if we get a medicine from a doctor, if he says you have to take one medicine in morning and one at night, but if we take all the medicine at one time, then that is harmful. So it depends on us how we take it. Many a times we can see people communicating with each other, but the another person is busy on phone. That is not the problem of technology, it is problem of mentality, that we are not stable and we are not interested in the front person's communication. So that is the reason the front person is not that interested in communicating with us and find a better option being on mobile. So we need to think about the things in positive way and need to go ahead with such technologies. At last, I would say it is a opportunity for me to share my opinion on this, and I thank technology for helping with all those things. Thank you. And if anyone need any questioning, I will be there to answer.
Thank you, Dolly. I don't think there are any questions. So we'll move on to our next participant then. I would like to call upon Bibi Rashida Shahabi from Department of Politics and Public Administration. She is going to speak for the topic, Social Media is a Cause of Increasing Depression Among the Youth. Her preferred language is English. Please continue.
Hello and good morning, everyone. I'm Bibi Rasha Shahabi from Departments of MA Politics and Public Administration. I'm for the topic of social media as increase the depression among youth. And first of all, I wanted to say that social media is a computer-based technology that is anybody can share their ideas, thoughts, and information through the building of the virtual networks and communities. And also, if you wanted to have a connection between depression, you can say depression is a mode of disorder that cause it is a mode of disorder, or we can say it is a mental health.
Sorry for interrupting you, but it will be really good if you could switch on your video for the judges to see.
Okay. It is okay.
No, I don't think we can see you yet.
Okay, forget Salil because her time is being counted, na? So she's wasting her time.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
You can continue. Please continue.
Continue. Rashida, you can continue, please.
Yes, and after that, if we wanted to connect between the connection between the depression and the social media. After that, we can say that depression is the mood of disorder that cause a depression, feeling of sadness, and lose of interest occur on the activities that we done in our lives. And after that, according to research that I read about the cause of the social media and with depression, that increased depression, according to this, in Pennsylvania University, that when they done this and other studies and research that they done this research about the cause of social media and increase of depression, that they say 90% of people between age of 18 29 are at least they use one form of social medias. And according to these studies and research, 63% of depression is cause of social medias. And also another issue that they mention about this issue is that social media is increase the depression among youth, among especially girls, and also moreover in here 65% of suicide among girls are cause of social media, that they have increased the depression between these girls. And also we can say that cause of suicide in society, in society, that in a Gujarat university, a guy in Afghan student that was a cause of depression, that he suicided himself. And also the other example we can say is Sushant Singh, that it is a cause of depression, that he get from the social medias. And another can say that the social media increase the depression among youths, among young peoples, and this it is decreased this these people, the young people, and also the less
So Rashida, if you could
healthy
just,
activities and
can you hear me?
hello.
Rashida, what in the
Yes.
social media causes depression? Could you just comment on that?
Yes, depression increased when they come when they use social medias. On that time,
So what amongst the
the
social
depression
media
when
causes?
they decrease uh, I couldn't catch. Could you repeat once again
So
your
my question
question?
was that what in social media causes depression? If you think social media causes depression.
Yes, when some people didn't use social media and increase the depression. The cause is that when they compare themselves and also they see something a better picture than themselves, especially girls, or maybe sometimes they see some the explosion like in Afghanistan some days ago. I have a lot of depression when I see some movies, some videos that according explosion, that according some blaze in Afghanistan. For this, it is increased the depression in me. In something like me, there are a lot of young people that get depression among these. It will be because and social media will be because of increasing the depression among these youths. And in conclusion, that I say, in conclusion, that I wanted to conclude that the social media, it is not the only cause of depression, but most of things that 63% of depression is cause of social media among youth people. And in that sense, we can say that according to Georgiana Young, as a senior in the Pennsylvania University, if we wanted to list our depression, on that time we can say we can limit as much as possible the use of social media. If we wanted to decrease the depression and less depression in ourselves, on that time we can say that we can use limit our use of in social media, from social media. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rashida. Now, I would like to call upon our next contestant, Joseph Leansanga from the Department of Commerce. He is going to speak against the topic, should Chinese products be banned in India? And his preferred language is English. Please continue, Joseph.
Hello, I'm sorry to interrupt. I have a question. Are we participants allowed to ask questions?
No, I'm afraid due to technical limitations, there will be no rebuttal period.
Okay.
And I
want to thank the moderator.
Salil, please ask them to on the videos before they speak. Okay?
Yes, he has on this video.
Yes.
Please continue, Joseph.
I want to thank the moderator for giving me an opportunity to speak, and to the members for giving me an audience to speak to. The motion today has been a topic of interest for most of us Indians, which directly or indirectly affects us. India and China are two very different countries in their beliefs, one a socialist and one a mixed economy. But they are very similar in other ways, which affects the economy of the world. They both have cheap labors and they have a large workforce, which other countries envy. That being said, today I stand against the motion of banning Chinese products in India. The fact remains that during the past few years and still going on, there has been a tension between India and China in the border, which has led to many discussions and even an active military presence there. But as a commerce student, an aspiring entrepreneur, and an advocate for opportunity for all, I cannot stand around and with the fact that China is the second largest trade partners of India, second only to US by a meager $2 billion. In the top 5 selling smartphones in India, 4 products are from China, which is a huge number. And India has becoming a hotspot for medical tourism, which means people from other countries come to India for cheap medical procedures. But according to the president of Indian Pharmaceutical Alliance, 70% of the ingredients used in medicines come from China. So if there's a ban on Chinese product, the Indian medical tourism might collapse, which can affect a lot of people and can cause a huge unemployment rate in India. And the other part of this ban, I think, is the mentality of Indians of banning things which are uncomfortable to them, such as banning of pork, mobile applications, and even pornography. Because when even in Pune, you can see that a lot of stores sells beef. Even the police and government employees and officials even know these facts, but it's still going on, and it's not entirely been banned. But the government sells this to the people to have a huge supporter. And to conclude this, I want to say that banning is not the option for India. After five years, it may be an option, but if there's a ban on Chinese product now, India might be on the losing side. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your thoughts, Joseph. Now I would like to call upon our next participant, Satyendra Yadav from Department of Law. He is going to speak for the topic, dependency on technology, need or necessity of technology for students. His preferred language is Hindi. Please continue.
नमस्कार सर, मेरा नाम सत्येंद्र यादव है और मेरा टॉपिक है डिपेंडेंसी ऑन टेक्नोलॉजी, नीड और नेसेसिटी फॉर स्टूडेंट। तो जैसा कि मेरा प्रीफर्ड लैंग्वेज हिंदी है, तो मैं जैसा कि अभी जो टेक्नोलॉजी का इस्तेमाल है स्टूडेंट्स के लिए वो अभी बहुत ज्यादा है। जैसा कि जूम ऐप है 2011 से लॉन्च हो गया था, लेकिन हमारा इस्तेमाल 2020 से जो उसका इस्तेमाल है बहुत ज्यादा हो गया। उसके वजह से काफी सारे और एप्स आ गए, जैसे कि हम जिस ऐप से आज हम मीटिंग कर रहे हैं उसका नाम है माइक्रोसॉफ्ट टीम, गूगल मीट्स, और बहुत सारे ऐप्स आ गए हैं। इस वजह से जो स्टूडेंट्स हैं वो काफी हद तक मतलब निर्भर हैं इस टेक्नोलॉजी पे, अदरवाइज वो अपनी पढ़ाई ही नहीं कर सकते हैं, ऐसा वो मान रहे हैं आज के डेट में। और जहां तक देखा जाए कि आज के डेट में जितने भी स्टूडेंट थे, मतलब बिफोर कोरोना, मतलब जब स्कूल हम जाते थे तो बच्चे सारे जितने थे वो अपना असाइनमेंट, प्रोजेक्ट्स, ये सब करने के लिए वो पूरे तरीके से इस पे ही डिपेंड थे, टेक्नोलॉजी पे। कैसे असाइनमेंट करना है, क्या टॉपिक स्कूल में पढ़ाए जाएंगे, वो पहले ही पढ़ के जाते थे। लेकिन आफ्टर कोरोना ऐसा हो गया कि ऑनलाइन मोड ही सब कुछ हो गया, तो स्कूल जाने वाला बच्चा अब घर से ही पढ़ रहा है, असाइनमेंट भी घर से ही टेक्नोलॉजी पे कर रहा है, सारे काम वो टेक्नोलॉजी पे ही कर रहा है, चाहे वो टैबलेट के माध्यम से हो, मोबाइल से हो या कंप्यूटर से करे। अभी वो पूरी तरीके से निर्भर है टेक्नोलॉजी पे। जैसा कि मैंने इसके फॉर द मोशन बोला है, इसलिए 26 नवंबर जो कि कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन डे मनाया जाता है, उस दिन इसी टॉपिक पे काफी सारी बहस हुई थी, क्योंकि लिए जो जस्टिस है वो इनइक्वालिटी क्रिएट कर रहा था लोगों के बीच में, कि जो गरीब है वो अपना जस्टिस न्याय नहीं ले पा रहा था, और जो अमीर है वो टेक्नोलॉजी के थ्रू अपनी न्याय ले पा रहा था। वही सेम सिचुएशन अभी अराइज हो रही है कि गांवों में जो बच्चे हैं उनके पास उतनी टेक्नोलॉजी अभी नहीं अवेलेबल है, तो इस कारण की वजह से थोड़ी सी इनइक्वालिटी हो जा रही है। जिस सरकार ने कदम उठाए हैं, मोदी गवर्नमेंट ने, जैसे कि हमारा ई पाठशाला है, काफी सारे प्रोग्राम्स गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से चलाए जा रहे हैं, जिससे कि ग्रामीण के जो छात्र हैं उनको ये पढ़ाई का जो टेक्नोलॉजी का है वो पूरा प्रयास किया जाए। उत्तर प्रदेश सरकार, महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट, सारी गवर्नमेंट्स ने अपनी तरफ से योजनाएं लगाई हैं बच्चों को पढ़ाने के लिए। हमारा खुद का यूनिवर्सिटी सावित्री भाई फुले यूनिवर्सिटी ने ऑनलाइन और ऑफलाइन दोनों माध्यम से बच्चों के एग्जाम करवाए हैं। जैसा कि सभी जानते हैं कि फाइनल्स में काफी सारी दिक्कतें आई बच्चों को, फिर भी हमने कोशिश की है कि हम इसमें सुधार कर सके। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Satyendra.
Thank you, ma'am.
Now I would like to call upon Shraddha Popad Marbal from the Department of Technology. She is going to speak for the topic dependency on technology, need or necessity of technology for students. Her preferred language is English. Please continue, Shraddha.
Hello everyone. Thank you for giving me chance to speak on this topic. I'm going to speak for this topic. I'm going to speak on for the motion of dependence on technology, need or necessary for students. So, as we know, technology is science of craft. So, technology has to satisfy requirements such as utility, usability, and safety. So, of course, technology is a boon for students. If it is handled with self-discipline, then technology is a boon for students. Yeah, technology can become bane if we handle or use it without any prerequisites. So it is like a magic wand given to you. You can use it. So you can use it if you have that stable mindset. It is very helpful. It is very helpful for students. So like when I remember that when Miss Dolly Kumawat, when she speak on this topic, I very much agree with her things. She has entirely covered almost all the things about technology, that how it is beneficial for students, and I totally agree to it. So technology for student and in this pandemic time has proved to be a boon for society and as well as students. So technology has helped and is helping in improving the education system. It has helped in communicating with people. It has also enhanced the security that a person sitting uh, anywhere at any place can keep watch on their people on their home with help of this technology. Also, it gives access to various sources, so students can access to unlimited knowledge, books through this technology. Uh, Also, technology gives access to the outer space, outer world. So the curiosity of students is answered through technology. So technology is here and it is here to stay. Although technology is a consequence of science and engineering, so um, technology is an human activity. So we know that scientists and engineers may both be considered as technologists. So, working and using of this technology with self-discipline for student is a boon. Technology needs certain protocols to be understood by the users, so it is very helpful for the society. Thank you.
Thank you, Shraddha, for sharing your valuable thoughts. Now I would like to call upon our next participant, Aditya Nand Kumar Mane from the Department of Technology. He is going to speak for the topic Dependency on Technology, Need or Necessity of Technology for Students. His preferred language is English. Please continue, Aditya.
Hello.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Yeah, Aditya and I, both of us will be presenting this topic.
But there is no teaming up. There's
There
only
is
individual participation.
Okay, actually we were informed that there are 2 participants.
But we revised the things, not the last
Oh.
week. Okay, can you let them go ahead. Let them
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
Sure. Okay, is Aditya, are you there? Okay, so basically I'll start. Yeah. So today, technology has become an essential ornament of our day-to-day lives. If you want to know whether Monday is a holiday or when you are going to celebrate Eid or Diwali, the easiest mode to know is by using your cell phone and the virtual calendar. Good morning, one and all. I, Rinaz Sheikh and Aditya from the Department of Technology choose to speak in favor of for this topic, technology as a need and necessity for students. Today, entire world is rolling on technology. So we cannot keep the lives of students away from this essential sense, which is actually running the world. So today, technology has brought schools, colleges, teachers, and students together and bridged the distances and the differences. Technology today has become like a language which is seeping deep into our lives. So today, in thinking, in innovation, and in living, in entertainment, in communication, in transport, everywhere technology is playing an important role. Who doesn't want to drive in an automated car? Similarly, who wouldn't want to learn from an environment where they are using modeling and simulations and big, huge screens which are going to display your textbooks? Think of the weight of the bag that is lessened due to electronic PDFs that can be displayed to the students and used as an aid of technology. Having spoken this, what technology is, but what is this technology? So as a simple definition that some of my pals like Shraddha have already mentioned to you, it's the use of information, knowledge to help you, that is going to help you to make your life better, invent something for you. But are we sticking to this definition? So this is where things come into picture. So we need to get educated and we need to educate the students to understand how this technology can be used wisely. So technology has both. Is good. It's good as well as bad. So now I request Aditya to add some more points to it.
Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, I will continue. So we were instructed that we are going to be participating as a team, but you said it how to participate individually. But we will continue as we plan. Technology has improved our life. It has provided a connectivity. If we consider our normal classroom learning, no, not all of the students from our university stays in the hostel. Many of students live outside. So by shifting the teaching and learning process virtually, it is reducing our travel time. So it is giving us a more time, roughly 1 to 1.5 hour per day extra more. So we can utilize that time for other activities as well. And also I saw an article by Sam Pitruda about saying that India is not fully prepared for virtual education or digital education. And some of the institute, if you consider IIT Bombay, so they have shifted their teaching and learning process for this years totally online. But for that they have increased their fees by increased fees by 30% almost. So in our university there are a lot more issues about this. So we need to improve on that. So Rinesh will conclude.
So we cannot keep students away from this immense knowledge source that we have. So what do you think when about technology? It's not students carrying the smartphones, but it's the smart environment that is given to the students. So coming to this, I would like to conclude by saying this, how effectively we are going to make the use of technology in imparting knowledge and the basic values of life to the students is all that is going to make the difference. Thank you.
And another last point, technology is for humans and humans are not for the technology.
Correct.
Thank you both of you for sharing your thoughts. Now our next participant is Thupten Gyaltsen from the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies. He is going to speak for the topic, social media is a cause of increasing depression among the youth. His preferred language is English. Please continue.
Good morning, honorable judges, moderator, and dear participants. It gives me great pleasure to be part of this conversation. My initial motivation was really not to present my view, but rather to listen to the other participants speaking on various interesting topics, which really holds most of the topics are very dear to my heart. But today, I'm going to speak on the topic social media is a cause of increasing depression among the youth. I think this is something that we can relate to each and every one of us in our day-to-day life. Because when we try to look the role of the social media which plays in our daily life, we have to look how social media is created at the first place. When we talk about the positive side of the social media, many people would argue that this will help us to connect more easier to our parents. This will help us to communicate easier with other people and so on and so forth. But let me remind you that the social media companies, right? Social media companies at the outset, when they try to think about coming on all these wonderful media platforms, I don't think they have met these things for the purpose of helping people to reach out to their parents, to reach out to their friends and so forth. But they try to make sure that the media which they created is very, very, very addictive. So these days, the social media companies hire individuals, so-called attention engineers. They hire psychologists, they hire philosophers and so forth. So they try to make sure that people get truly addicted to the social media. And when we get addicted to something, there is no question how healthy it is, right? So what I would think is that social media is something like a cocaine or marijuana in disguise in our life. It's very difficult for us to pinpoint the negative side of the social media, but social media truly ruins the life of us. And on top of that, let me give another example, right? So whenever we go through social media, whenever we post something on the social media, it really changes the whole sense of the identity of who we are, whom we are supposed to be. When we see a beautiful picture of a celebrity couple, for instance, or a celebrity holidaying in the beautiful beaches of the Maldives, we, for the temporarily, we become highly inspired. Oh, this is how a successful life means, right? We don't think about the, how to say, the behind the scene of all these things. We only pay attention on these things. And what happens is that, okay, I will conclude soon. What happens is that when we try to inspire by such stories and so forth, we really become less important to ourselves. If we are not very successful in our life, and we always tend to compare our life with others, and we feel very, very kind of less worthy as compared to others. So all these things, the competitiveness, will cause some problem in our mental health, which is another form of depression. And another thing, when we post something on the social media, we often go for how many likes we get, how many comments we get. We create a fake life on the social media, and people spend more time to be perfect on the platform of social media rather than to be perfect in the real life. So what is the whole point of posting a nice picture on the social media if you're not really that much nice in the real life? So the social media really changes of who you are, whom you're supposed to be, and you will always face this dichotomy between your real life versus your life on social media. I couldn't cover all the points, but let me conclude here by saying that unless we find a kind of a means to be a kind of digital minimalism, to find a way to adopt digital minimalism or social media minimalism, it will truly impact our mental health in a very negative way. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, Thupten. Now I would like to call upon our next participant, Ravi Nisha Ravindra Chincholkar from the Department of Library and Information Science. She is going to speak for the topic Social Media is a Cause of Increasing Depression Among the Youth. Her preferred language is Marathi. Please continue, Ravi Nisha.
नमस्कार, मी रविनिशा चिंचोलकर. सोशल मीडिया हे तरुणांमधल्या वाढत्या डिप्रेशनचं कारण बनत चाललंय का? मला विचाराल तर मी म्हणेल नक्कीच हो. याची बरीचशी कारणं देता येतील, पण सगळ्यात महत्त्वाचं कारण जे मला वाटतं ते असं की वेगवेगळ्या सोशल मीडिया ॲप्समुळे आपल्याला वेगवेगळ्या प्रकारचे मानसिक आजार होत चालले आहेत. म्हणजे फेसबुकचंच बघा, फेसबुकमुळे जेलसी लोकांची खूप वाढत आहे. कसं होतं की समजा मॅरिड लोक आहेत, तर मॅरिड लोक त्यांची हॅपीली मॅरिडवाले फोटोज टाकत राहतात आणि सिंगल लोक ज्यांचं लग्न जुळत नाही तर ती लोक सलमान खानचे फोटो टाकून स्वॅगचे सिंगल ह्या त्यांच्या पोस्ट कायम टाकत राहतात. पण खरं तर काय असतं, मॅरिड लोक सिंगल लोकांवर जेलस असतात की ह्यांना काहीच रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नाही, आणि सिंगल लोक मॅरिड लोकांवरती जेलस असतात की ह्यांचं लाईफ किती हॅप्पी आहे, सगळं रिलेशनशिप वगैरे सगळं पर्सनल लाईफ ह्यांचं सक्सेसफुल चाललंय. पण त्यांचं हॅपीली मॅरिड मधला हॅपीनेस किती आणि स्वॅगचं सिंगल मधलं स्वॅग किती हे रिअल लाईफ मध्ये फक्त त्यांनाच माहित असतं. पण आपली चूक काय होतीये की आपण त्यांच्या अगदी प्रॉपरली मॅनेज ऑनलाईन कंटेंटला आपल्या रिअल लाईफशी कम्पेअर करतो आणि आपल्याला सतत असं वाटत राहतं की आपल्याच लाईफमध्ये सगळे प्रॉब्लेम चालू आहेत आणि बाकीच्या सगळ्यांचं मात्र खूप सगळं छान चाललंय. आणि हे कायम आपण सोशल मीडियाचे अडिक्ट झालो, तासन तास त्यावर स्पेंड करतो. त्यामुळे कायम एक कंटिन्युअसली असं वाटत राहणं की सगळ्यांचं दुसऱ्यांचं फार छान चाललंय. ही जी गोष्ट आहे, पूर्वी असं व्हायचं नाही का, जेलसी नव्हती का? होतीच ना. पण तेव्हा काय व्हायचं, आपल्याला तो माणूस खरोखर दिसायचा. एखादी मुलगी बारीक असेल तर त्यामागे तिने किती एक्सरसाइज केली, तिने किती डाएट केलंय, तो स्ट्रगल पण आपल्याला दिसायचा. त्यामुळे आपल्याला ते जेलस व्हायचो, पण आपल्याला ऍक्सेप्टन्स पण यायचा. पण आता स्ट्रगल नाही दिसत, फक्त डायरेक्ट रिझल्ट दिसतो. त्यामुळे आपल्याला असं वाटतं की बाकीच्यांचं खूप छान चालू आहे. आणि हेच महत्त्वाचं कारण आहे की आपण आपल्या खऱ्या आयुष्याला व्हर्च्युअल आनंदाशी कम्पेअर करतोय आणि त्यामुळे डिप्रेशन वाढत चाललंय. याशिवाय ट्विटर, इंस्टाग्राम, ट्विटरवरती तर शिव्या देणे, टोमणे मारणे, यातून आसुरी आनंद मिळवणे, इंस्टाग्रामवरती नार्सिसिझम सारखे मानसिक आजार म्हणजे इतरांना अत्यंत कमी लेखणे आणि त्यामुळे खूप जास्त क्रिटिसिझम जरासही क्रिटिसिझममुळे अगदी डिप्रेशनपर्यंत जाऊन पोहोचणे, ब्रेकअप झाला असेल तर आपल्या एक्स पार्टनरचं फेसबुक अकाउंट स्टॉक करणे, अशा टाईपच्या मानसिक विकृती पण वाढत आहेत, त्या पण डिप्रेशनकडे लीड करतात. याशिवाय खूप सारे फिजिकल रिझन्स पण आहेत, जसं की फोनवरती खूप जास्त टाइम स्पेंड केल्याने ब्लू लाईट, की ज्यामुळे आपल्या हेल्थ सायकलवरती परिणाम होतो. आणि ह्याचा इफेक्ट काय होतो, की डोपामाइन नावाचं एक हॅपी हार्मोन असतं, की ज्यामुळे आपल्याला हॅपीनेस फील होतो. तर हे हॅपी हार्मोन जे आहे ते आपल्या बॉडीमध्ये रिलीज होत नाही. सोशल मीडियाच्या ॲडिक्शनमुळे आपण फिजिकल एक्सरसाइजकडेही लक्ष देत नाही. 15-20 मिनिटं वॉकही आपण दिवसातनं करत नाही. याचाही परत एकदा इफेक्ट तोच, की हॅपी हार्मोन कमी रिलीज होतं आणि त्यामुळे फिजिकली सुद्धा आपल्याला हॅपीनेस फील करायला कमी पडतं. म्हणजे केमिकली सुद्धा, एक मेडिकली सुद्धा एक हे रिझन आहे. आणि ह्याच्या उलट काही लोकांना खूप जास्त लाईक्स, कमेंट्स येतात. त्यांच्या केसमध्ये असं होतं, की डोपामाइन खूप जास्त रिलीज होतं. पण कसं असतं, हे पण एका दारूच्या नशेसारखं आहे. दारूमुळे कसं होतं, की जास्त सवय लागली तर जास्त दारू पिल्याशिवाय आपल्याला ती चढत नाही. तसंच त्या प्रकारे जास्त डोपामाइन रिलीज झालं तर कमी डोपामाइन रिलीज झालं तर आपल्याला जास्त आनंद मिळत नाही. तर आता मी कन्क्लूड फक्त एका छोट्याशा गोष्टीतनं करते. 2 बैल असतात. ते रस्त्याच्या 2 बाजूंनी चाललेले असतात आणि दोन्हीकडे छानसं हिरवं गवत असतं. पण डावीकडचा बैल असतो तो थोडासा दुःखी असतो. त्याला असं वाटत असतं, की पलीकडचं गवत जास्त हिरवं आहे, ते जास्त टेस्टी असेल आणि उजवीकडच्याला वाटत असतं, की डावीकडचं गवत जास्त हिरवं आहे, ते जास्त टेस्टी असेल. खरं तर दोन्हीकडचं गवत सारखंच असतं. पण दोघंही इतकं छान गवत मिळूनही दोघंही अगदी दुःखी असतात. हेच काहीसं आपल्या बाबतीत पण होतंय. इतरांची व्हर्च्युअल रिॲलिटी आपण आपल्या खऱ्या आयुष्याशी कंपेअर करतोय आणि त्यात उलट जो खरा निखळ आनंद जो खऱ्या आयुष्यात मिळायला हवा, तो आपण त्यातनं मिस करतोय. ह्यामुळे सोशल मीडियामुळे आपल्यावरती आपल्या बाबतीत एक चुकीचा परिणाम घडतोय आणि तो डिप्रेशनला लीड करतोय असं मला वाटतं. अगदी मुक्तांगण सारखी जी पुण्यातली संस्था आहे, तिने सुद्धा असं सांगितलंय, की सध्या त्यांच्याकडे येणाऱ्या सोशल मीडिया अडिक्टचं प्रमाण खूप जास्त वाढत चाललंय. तर नक्कीच ह्याचा अर्थ हा खरोखर सोशल मीडियाचा परिणाम हा आजकालच्या यूथवरती होतोय. एवढंच मला सांगायचंय. थँक्यू.
Thank you, Ravinisha. Now I would like to call upon our next participant, Pranav Dhone from Pumba. He is going to speak for the topic, should Chinese products be banned in India? His preferred language is English. Please continue, Pranav.
There has been a mistake, I guess. My preferred topic is the social media and increasing depression among the youth.
Okay,
I was wrong. All right.
Okay, yeah.
So
please
can I begin
continue with your
topic? All right. Good morning, one and all. And before I proceed,
Kindly make it very clear for the judges because they have another sheet. Please repeat your topic and make it very clear for the judges, please.
Sure, ma'am. My apologies. So my topic is social media and increasing depression among the youth. Okay. Can I begin, ma'am?
Speaking for or against?
For.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning, one and all. And firstly, I would like to thank Dr. Supriya Patil for granting me an opportunity for the debate competition. And so quickly, on the date birth of Jyotiba Govindarao Phule, I shall begin my topic. For those who don't know who is Jyotirao Govindarao Phule, he is the spouse of Savitribai Phule, the first female teacher of India and the first revolutionary of the feminism. So without wasting time, I will divide my section in 3 parts. First is the type of the depression. Second is the role of the hormones. And third is the entry of the social media. So beginning with the types of the depression. So there are 6 major types of depression. That is bipolar disorder, post-traumatic, PTS, seasonal depression, then cynical, situationary, peripotrium, postpartum, and seasonal. So we will study more about it in further stages. Next, we will begin with the hormones. That is the 4 major growth, the brain hormones, the endorphins, the oxytocin, the dopamine, the serotonin, the LH hormone released by the pituitary gland. These all hormones and the relation with this depression types. And the last is the entry of the social media. When was it entry? For example, so we will start with their era. For each decade, a specific social platform was discovered. In the early 70s, Plato and revolutionary platform was introduced for the social gathering of the business. It was only for the business people, and it was named after the Athenian, the Plato, the revolutionary, the Stoic leader, the the father of the Stoicism. It was named after him because he was a thinker. In later 80s, BBS was discovered. That was bulletin board system. In 90s, MySpace was discovered. In 20th century, we all know Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, Snapchat, Instagram were introduced. So without wasting time, I would start with my topic. So our topic clearly states that social media is an increasing depression among the youth. So let's take the two categories. The first is the age group of 12 to 16, and the second is 16 to 18. So when we took the case study of the first 12 to 16 years of the age group. This age group is the teen, these hormones which I just discussed, which was dopamine, serotonin, endorphin. This is very at a primitive stage. They just need to grow, and whatever they see around it, they adapt to it and they grow through it. So what has happened is, from past 20 years, the India has been adopting the technologies, and which has been destroying the roots of the youth. So we all know this now, thanks to the COVID, that this situation is getting more and more drastic and dramatic, that the children, they are fed with the virtual world, that is the illusionary world. So when we are 13 to 16, now our parents used to tell us stories. When we for me, I belong to the Zoomer generation, so generations are also divided. So I will just conclude with the topic, that is, due to this virtual world, the basis of the hormones are disturbed, which totally leads to the disruption of the later formation. So due to the virtual world, our illusions are destroyed. That is, the hormones are disturbed by all this, which leads to different types of depression. That is bipolar, and most of the cases, bipolar is the most common depression which is seen among the youth. That is the working age of 21, 22, 23 till 30th age. And that's all I will conclude. Actually, I could have spoke more, but the time limit, I have to stop here. Thank you.
Thank you, Pranav. Now I would like to call upon Apurva Gupta from the Department of Commerce. She is going to speak for the topic, should Chinese products be banned in India? The preferred language is English. Please continue, Apurva. Is Apurva there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Am I audible? Hello,
Yes,
Bharani?
Apurva. Yes, Apurva, please continue.
Okay. Good afternoon, judges, my friends, and all the participants present here. I, Apurva Gupta, would like to present my view as to why it is crucial for India to ban the Chinese products in India. Once the relationship between China and India was described as Hindi Chini Bhai Bhai, to now the two countries are sworn enemies. Recently, the killing of 20 Indian soldiers in the Galwan Valley is not a novel attack by China on India's sovereignty. But even in the year 1962, China had attacked India, which is now popularly known as the Sino-Indian War or the Indo-China War, and has ceded 3,225 kilometers long Himalayan border range in Ladakh to itself. On 29th of June 2020, the government of India had banned 59 Chinese apps, and the digital surgical strike is still going on with the ban on popular apps such as TikTok, Baidu, WeChat, etc. And I am completely in support of it. China, on one side, wants the access and the control of one of the biggest consumer markets in the world. On the other hand, it refuses to acknowledge the integrity, the dignity, the sovereignty, and the resolve of its very people. Time and again, China has emerged as the biggest threat to India's sovereignty and advancement. It was India who gave up its permanent position in the United Nations to China under the leadership of the then Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru. But today, China then and again uses its veto power to block India from attaining a permanent position in United Nations. In fact, China has went on to build the China-Pakistan Economic Corridor, which goes through the Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, which is an integral part of India. In fact, China even has a strong opinion about the striking out of Article 370 in the Jammu and Kashmir, and has went so far as to support Pakistan. In fact, China on one hand earns revenue from India, where on the same revenue it uses to produce the very arms and the ammunition it supplies to the terror hubs in Pakistan to keep India in check. China has even opposed India's appeal in the United Nations to ban Jaish-e-Mohammed's chief Masood Azhar. Should India allow China to take such crucial internal decisions of India? Gone are the days when a country used to invade another country at the point of a gun. Today, the dark side of globalization says that it's not the arms and ammunition that is used to rule another country, but it's the economic power, and the economy is used as a weapon to gain access and invade another country. Not to forget, East India Company came to India as traders, started meddling in India's political affairs. In fact, Chinese products also poses a threat to India's privacy. China on one hand also has a very extremist nature and a very protectionist environment. It does not allow other major corporations of the world to gain a grip on its economy. And it's even very hard for major corporations like Microsoft, Google, Apple to gain access to China's market. So I would just like to conclude by saying that it's not just a political sovereignty, but also the economy at stake. In order to stay sovereign, it's very essential to stay independent of the externalities in trade. Chinese companies have also affected the trade of many small companies, be it large or small traders in India, with a recent example being Micromax. India's traders have lost a huge chunk of its business to the Chinese competitors. So it's time for India to get vocal and for local and to support the Prime Minister's initiative for Atmanirbhar Bharat. In fact, I would like to conclude with stating one of the fundamental duties of every Indian citizen. In Part 4A, Article 15A of the Constitution of India states that there are certain fundamental duties which every citizen of India has to abide with, which clearly states that it is an Indian citizen's duty to protect India's sovereignty, the integrity, and in fact, the last fundamental duty states that it is India's every individual in India should strive towards betterment of the Indian society and to help reach India's economy to great heights.
Thank you, Apurva, for sharing your thoughts. Now, that concludes the list of participants, but I would like to ask if anyone is left, anyone joined later. Just unmute yourself and tell your name, if anyone is left.
Sir, myself, Mohsin Astikar. I already filled that on form, but still not listed in that one.
Okay. But your name here is something else, so I could not recognize it.
Yes.
So, okay, our last participant is Mohsin Astikar.
Should I start?
Yes. He's from Design Innovation Center. He's going to speak for the topic, should Chinese products be banned in India? His preferred language is English. Please continue, Mohsin.
Good afternoon, all of you. Today I am presenting on the topic of should Chinese product be banned in India. If you look in the past, in 2001-2, India export to China is about 1 billion, and while the China exporting to India is about 2 billion. Now look the latest figures that 2019-20 India exporting to China is about $18 billion, where the Chinese exporting to India that we are doing the import from China is about 74 billion. If you look at the figure, first in 2001-2 it is difference is about $1 billion, but now if you look the difference is too much. So what exactly China is doing, whatever the amount of rupees it earning through by exporting the different commodities or products to different countries, now it try to store that one with the People Bank of China. Now look in the reserve of the People Bank of China, it is about $3 trillion. Okay, so what China will do, it's try to give that that whatever the reserves available with him to different poor countries in the world. Once the country is not able to repay whatever the amount of the loan, now it try to encroaching that one countries. This is a new form of Chinese imperialism. Now this is general about the world, but now looking into perspective of particular with India, just due to the whatever the confrontation occur over the Galwan valleys. Now I will explain little background of this one. Due to the border road organization constructing a road in Sikkim, and China objected to that one. This belongs to their own territories. So that leads to confrontation in Ganwan Valley, where we lost the 20 soldiers on June 16, 2020. So that resulted into a boost in the population of India, that we have to ban the products of the China. So, but we not able to look blindly to enter the perspective. We have to look at what exactly things we are importing from China. If you look in the basket of what we are importing from China is electric machinery, organic chemicals, and fertilizers. Okay, so now we have to look whatever the capabilities available with us, so that we not able to rely on the Chinese product. But once we look whatever the capabilities available with us, we are lacking in the manufacturing capabilities. Also the skilling, whatever the skilled force available with this is also not that much. So directly taking the step of banning Chinese product is not suitable for us. So abrupt stopping of any product or Chinese product is not possible. Also, we are following the World Trade Organization. So there is a system where we cannot complete ban. We cannot put the complete ban on the Chinese product, as explained by our economic minister, Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman already. So what we have to do, the famous the professor from Center of East Asian Studies, JNU, he told that first we have to increase our manufacturing capabilities, as well as we have to look for the alternatives, the things which we are dependent on the China. So once we have done that one, then only stop that one Chinese product. So first we have to think for our capabilities. So there is famous, I will conclude from this one, that there is some self-interest behind every friendship. There is no friendship without self-interest, as this is a bitter truth, as told by the Chanakya. So first we have to build our capabilities, then only we can step by step stop the Chinese product. Okay, thank you. Thank you for listening me this one, giving me the golden opportunity. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mohsin, for sharing your thoughts. So that concludes the participants. Now I would like to call the judges to express their views.
Okay, we have to express our views, or we immediately after that we have to declare the results, because we need some time to discuss amongst ourselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So first, you want us to give our views, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Good morning. Sorry. Good afternoon, all of you. And it was indeed a pleasure to listen to you all on the very interesting topics that are chosen for this debate competition. The first one was social media is a cause of increasing depression amongst the youth. The second one was dependency on technology. And the third one was like, should we ban the Chinese product in India? So looking at the today's scenario, and I feel that the topics were very relevant, and they were interwoven. And listening to the participants' views, what I felt was 1, 2, 3, 4 of them have really done their homework thorough and have commented, taking into consideration various aspects of the topic. So what I feel is that when one is participating in a debating competition, you have to look at the time that is at your hand and the topic that you are going to discuss. And accordingly, you have to have a inclusive approach on like the topics you are going to touch upon, and make a convincing statement or statements. So yes, almost all of you have made good efforts, but especially I liked 4 of them, and why I would disclose it afterwards when we declare the results. Now over to you, Shilpi. Yeah.
Thank you, Anupa, and thank you to the Department of Commerce for inviting me as a judge. It was indeed a pleasure to listen to all of your thoughts. And as Dr. Anupa has said, it is really difficult for us to choose the best amongst the top 5, I feel. And the topics were really, really good. And you people have really done your homework well. And I'm really glad that I was able to be a part of this competition. And good luck to all of you. Yeah. So we'll just discuss. Dr. Anupa and I would discuss, and I can get back to you. So, Dr. Shamla, how much time do we have?
Ma'am, you have time. After the competition ends, we'll just have a conference call and then we'll declare the results by mail or something. Okay? You have time.
Okay. So we are not going to declare the results right now, right?
Immediately, it will be a little difficult because you both have to get together and decide over it, right?
I think we can get it done in
5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah, sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Supriya ma'am? Supriya ma'am?
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. I heard the entire thing. Ma'am, if you need only 5 to 10 minutes, it's fine. We will ask the participants to wait patiently and then you can declare the results.
So I'll just call Dr. Anupa and we can get back. So meanwhile, I'll just mute and turn my video off. And we can just discuss. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request Nooreen Mujadidi to propose a vote of thanks.
Hold on. I think we can propose the vote of thanks after the results are declared because they're going to be coming in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So, Garangi, what we can do is if any other participant or any other audience has some discussion, they want to, conduct the topics that we have discussed, they're free. It's no competition is there. You can come and talk.
Anyone can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so anyone from the audience who would like to share their thoughts, please unmute yourself and let us know.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, everyone. I'm
Please
Pranav
identify yourself and your department when you speak, okay?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Sure.
Thank you.
Yes, my name is Pranav Dhone, and I am from Department of Management Sciences, and I'm from the pharmaceutical PPT section. So, can I continue with my topic, please, ma'am?
Go ahead, Pranav.
Yep. Thank you. So, ma'am, I just left out with my topic, and it was with the dates and the social media that was launched on the particular decade, right? So, when the age group of 10 to 13, so that 10 years, 13 years, and 16 years, these minds are filled with all the virtual world and the technology, the TV, the television, what they show, the smartphones, which they're getting right now, which was not already present for them, for us, we could say, when we were young at that particular age. So this particular age group is particularly searching for something different. They just want something great. They just want to be respected in each and every perspective. So they just feel a little bit different to share their views with their parents due to this technology and the social media. So what they do is they just try to get up the hype and the pride in the social media. For example, you could see that the various students showing off their glory in the form of photos in the Instagram, right? And on that basis, they judge each other's status. So if we talk about 2 or 3 decades earlier, this was not possible so much. And in each and every particular field, I'm not talking about anyone or any culture or any event which is taking place. So what happens is when this is uploaded, so this in youth, for example, this hormone known as oxytocin, the love hormone, or the serotonin, the mood stabilizer, the dopamine, which makes us happy. They think their world is only in this virtual world, in this particular technological world. They cannot think outside the box. They cannot think out of that rectangular smartphone which they're holding in their hand. So this creates a self-made ignorance, you could say, because they could not share their views with the elders and with the crowd among them where they are supposed to actually meet up. And for example, the people where they is where they stay or where they go. So what happens is this hormones which I just talked about, the four hormones, the dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, neurophins, and the LH released by the pituitary gland. They think these hormones are just trapped up. They don't know what to do, so they just go on and go on and go on, creating some psychological disorders, various psychological disorders, which leads to the types of depression which I previously explained, which was bipolar, seasonal, psychotic, then peripotrium, postpartum, cynical, situationary, and this the upgrowing media, this young generation from 10 years to 18 years, they're trying to fight their own problems with their own self due to their pride, self-made pride by this virtual world. So what they do is they find the ways through the social media only, through the internet, through the YouTube, trying to be their own doctor, trying to be their own, what do you say, trying to be the own, rebuild themselves, remake themselves. In this case, they forget that there is some procedure, there is something else, there is the world outside their self, their brain. So these hormones, they get more unstabilized and they cannot express themselves, which leads into the depression. And at the end, like this if the dopamine is trapped, the person shows the fake emotions. The person shows he's happy even if he's not happy inside. If the serotonin is trapped, he shows that he's okay, which ultimately leads to unhappiness. And when a person is unhappy, his final decision is for the suicide. That's what I wanted to conclude.
Thank you, Pranav. Well, I reckon 5 minutes were really small for you. So yeah, thank you for sharing your thoughts.
Thank you, Anant.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yes, Aditya.
Sir, I have not noted the names of panelists who are the professors. I want to interact with them. So can we have their names, or so you can share your screen and show their names so I can note their names.
Yeah, panelists are Dr. Shilpi Sharma and Dr. Anupa Kumbhar.
Let me
Dr. Shilpi Sharma.
And
Dr. Anupa Kumbhar.
उनका डिपार्टमेंट कौन सा है?
Shilpi Sharma is from Department of Biotechnology and Dr. Anupa is from Department of Chemistry.
Okay. I am from Technology Department. Aditya Bankar sir is our HOD.
Okay.
Thank you.
The judges are going to be here and they are going to declare the result themselves. Okay.
I think that there is a slightly happier aspect that they wouldn't have to go back from the cloud back into the edge. They can now transition directly.
Anupa ma'am, are you there? Shilpi ma'am?
Shilpi? Yes.
Yes, I'm there. So we had a discussion together, and Dr. Anupa should be I would like her to declare the results.
So, as Shilpi Madam has said, it was difficult task for us to actually judge the speakers, today's speakers, but based on the time that is required, the points that are covered, and the relevance to the topic and the content. And apart from that, the way it was communicated to the audience, based on these points, we have made our what you can say, result. Yeah, but before we declare result, I must say that all the participants had done a good job. Even if you do not get a prize, that does not mean you are any less. Okay. So as I mentioned, I am again repeating, the result is declared on the basis of the time that is required, the way it was communicated, how you have convinced us as audience, and the content and the point that were touched upon and that were relevant to the topics that were discussed. Shilpi, how we can go about, like, how many ranks are there, madam? Supriya, madam? Three. So 3, 2, 1, or can we go from the bottom?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, so the both of us have agreed upon that Miss Rinaz Sheikh should be awarded the third prize.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yes, because she was very confident and covered the topic nicely within the stipulated time. The second prize, Shilpi?
I think it should go to Ravinisha Chincholkar. Amazing. You were very, very good. Ravinisha, we were.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Yeah.
Right.
And any guesses for the first prize? Yes, the first prize goes to Mr. Mohsin Ashtekar. And I think that is how.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. It was amazing.
Yes.
Like, I
Yes.
liked it in the sense that the topics that were not touched upon by other speakers were the capabilities of India. On what basis we have decided to ban the Chinese goods? Are we able to cope with the that we are going to face after posing the ban on the Chinese goods? Okay, that was one point that I liked. And another is, like, you have started very well with telling us that China has increased their economic power, and based on that, that country is imposing threat to others, the neighboring countries. So that has to be curbed somewhere.
Yes.
Okay, so it was all inclusive, and you were sticking to time. 3 + 1 minute you have taken.
Yes.
So yeah, it was good. And at the outset, like, I forgot to mention in the beginning, but I am very happy that I have accepted this invitation by the chemistry department, and especially I am thankful to the head of the department, Professor Supriya madam, and Shamla madam. And yes, this was indeed a very good opportunity to listen to the topic which was out of our syllabus, and that we are routinely engaged in with. Yes, thank you indeed. Thank you. Shilpi, if you want to add something that I
The
missed.
topics selected were very good, and trust me, we had a very difficult time deciding who's going to be the winner, because everybody did a fantastic job, and it was really, really nice listening to all of you. I really hope you people keep continuing with this spirit, and the COVID epidemic does not stop you from reaching to further endeavors. And do well, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Supriya ma'am. Thank you, Shamla.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you. We take leave now. Yes.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. A hearty congratulations to all the winners and participants. Now, can we have a clap for everyone, all the participants and the winner virtually?
Yes.
Now,
Gaurangi, I have emailed the evaluation sheet to Shamla madam.
Yeah.
And,
Okay.
If you need
Okay, ma'am.
anything else from us, just let us know.
Yes. Sure, ma'am. Okay. Now I request Nooreen Moja.
Hello, I'm having one question. Hello.
Yes.
I'm having one question. Aditya sir, is there going to be another events in upcoming time? More events by Commerce Department?
That Supriya madam has to decide.
Okay, I will wait. We will wait. Okay. Yes.
We have exams scheduled in December. So I guess December, everybody wants to focus and get their academics on track. And therefore, definitely in the month of January, we hope to see you people in person. So we actually want to host an event in the department. That's my wish. That's our wish from the department. However, if situation continues and you guys are where you are and we are here, we will definitely have events in January and February as well. All right?
Okay, thank you. We will wait.
Okay, now I request Nooreen Mujadidi to propose a vote of thanks.
Nooreen?
Am I audible now?
Nooreen?
Yes, you are audible, Nooreen.
Yeah, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Nooreen Mujadidi, a student of the Commerce Department in Savitribai Phule Pune University. It's an honor and privilege for me to propose the vote of thanks. I would like to thank the members of our panel of jury, each Dr. Anupa Kumbar from the Chemistry Department and Dr. Shilpi Sharma from the Department of Biotechnology for taking out the time out of their busy schedules to grace this event, listening to the participants very patiently and judging. It would be impossible without your support. Thank you so much. Thanks to our HOD ma'am, Professor Dr. Supriya Patel for her continued support. Thank you, dear all participants, for expressing your valuable opinions and ideas regarding your chosen topics and indeed making an impact through your words. And finally, I would like to thank my co-organizers who have worked every bit to make this program a success. We are really delighted and grateful for the time and dedication you have put towards the success of this program. Thank you so much. We all wish you have a great weekend. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So we come to an end of this program. Thank you all. Thank you, Anupa ma'am. Thank you, Shilpi ma'am. Thank you, Supriya ma'am. Should we end it, ma'am?
Yes, please go
Yes,
ahead and
it's our
end the
pleasure.
Yeah.